So this is Black and Winning, part of It's All Blakademik, and I'm joined by the main host of AFTV, Robbie Lyle. Rob, what are you saying, man?
I'm good, man. Good? Yep, real good.
Cheers for coming on the show, Rob, man. So we're going to get to AFTV in a little bit because that's obviously what you're mainly known for. So we'll get there in a little bit. But I want to get to know Robbie Lyle. I want to speak to Robbie. You know what I mean? I think we all know about Robbie, the Arsenal fan, and like I said, we'll get there. But you're known now, obviously, for creating probably the biggest football fan channel in the world, definitely in this country. But talk to me about what you were like as a fan well before you got involved in media and doing the channel. What was Robbie like, the Arsenal fan, when he was young, teens, early 20s?
Well, first of all, when I first started supporting Arsenal, I used to be sort of involved in the music business as well. When I say not supporting Arsenal, started going to Arsenal, okay. I used to be in the music business as well. So I was sort of on the reggae music circuit. And so I never used to get to go every single week. I used to go as much as I possibly could. But I've been a passionate fan for over 30 odd years, going to Highbury, you know, watching Arsenal play. And I was just like any other fan, man, just mad passionate. Me and my brother, always arguing about football, you know, because he's an Arsenal fan as well. And yeah, just basically, just like any other fan. But obviously now I get to go all the time. As soon as we moved to, well, actually before we moved to the Emirates, I was a season ticket holder at Highbury for quite a long time as well. Once I sort of kind of came out of the music a bit, I got my season ticket there. And then I've been a season ticket holder since the Emirates has opened. So, seen the ups and downs, seen the great times of the Invincibles and some great football, Thierry Henry, Bergkamp those days, right up to what we see now.
And then the Jenkins.
Yeah. What a contrast, eh?
So when you were young, Rob, what was the bigger passion for you, music or football?
Do you know what? I'd say they were equal. I love both of them the same, but obviously music took up more of my time because, you know, I'd made a reggae tune called Proud to be Black. Tune went to #1 in the reggae charts in the UK.
I've heard it.
And like I used to do a lot of like shows all around England. I used to do a lot of shows around Europe. I appeared on Reggae Sunsplash. I did shows in the States. You know what I mean? So I used to that.
You're a big deal.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's as big as now. This now is like another level because I'd say in those days I was known like in that reggae circle. So if you knew your reggae music, you particularly British reggae music, you would have known who I was because you know I was quite big in that circle.
Tell us your reggae name. What was your reggae name?
Reggae name was Crucial Robbie.
Crucial Robbie. So you've gone back to that basically.
Yeah. So it was Crucial Robbie, and it was good times, man. I loved it. I enjoyed it. You know what I mean? And you know, you got to rub shoulders with and tour with and share stages with some big artists. You know what I mean? And some legendary artists and. You know, and I was mad passionate about music. I'm often a bit surprised sometimes that nowadays I'm not as into music. Well, I still love my music, but in comparison to then, music was my life. When the weekend came, you know, I'd go to football, but in the evening, it was, you know, from Thursday go right back till the end of the weekend, it was all about music. I was always at a dance or an event or something like that, you know. So, and it's funny because I meet a lot of people who know me from that era, and they're like, "Why, Robbie?
What happened?
Why? See, I do this football thing." You know what I mean? It's funny sometimes because you get some of those people from that era will meet me, and then there'll be people from sort of now, and they'll be going to them, "What? Did he used to do music?" I go, well, you know, my name's so big. I mean, one of them brains, man, used to run the place. And then the other people are like, oh, I didn't know that. You know what I mean? Like, and then some of those people didn't really realise that I was doing this football thing, you know? Yeah. So, but yeah, I was always into my football, even back in those days. It was a lot different in those days because, you know, I remember a lot of times I'd be going to football and friends of mine in the music would be like, boy, Robert, you know, because in them days, a lot of black people, there wasn't, it ain't like now, where there was lots of black people at football. You know, a lot of black people didn't go to football because, you know, there was all of the hooligan element, and a lot of that hooligan element was racist. You know what I mean? They're like, if you went to a game as a black person, you'd be getting it, you know what I mean? Monkey chants, people would go ooh, 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 and calling you nigger and black this and black that, you know what I mean? That was common. So a lot of times when I used to go to football, people used to look at, some of my friends used to look at, boy, Robbie, we are going, you're mad. Yeah. We are going Chelsea, West Ham, what happened to you, man? You're mad, man. You know what I mean? But I just had a passion for football, man, and I'd brave it and go. That's how much I loved it. You know, so yeah, it's been a mad journey to see where I've ended up now, like solely doing football. You know?
So again, we'll get there. But I know you've got quite a few brothers. Anyone that knows anything about people from the Caribbean and Jamaica in particular will know that two of the biggest things in our culture are music and sport. Yeah. So when you were younger and having the brothers that you have, because I know that your brothers are all sport crazy as well. Yeah. Give us an insight into what it was like in your household growing up. Was it just boxing and football on the TV and music in the background every day? Or was music a bigger thing in your house than sport at the time?
I think sport was probably bigger. Okay. Right? I think music was big because me and my older brother, we had like a sound system as well. It was like, the music was really, really big in that. But in sports, I mean, my dad is like, we all get it from my dad. Okay. Like, my dad, like, that's all he watches. Like, even now, all he watches on TV is sports. Okay. Yeah, you could take everything else off of TV. He watched cricket, mad into cricket. He loves his West Indies, football, any sport. And I think that's with all of me and all my brothers, that's where we got it from. We got it from him. And I used to feel sorry for my mum because like there was 4 of us as brothers. And like she didn't get to watch. she just had to just watch what we watched. She had to watch football. I remember a lot of times she said, "Ain't there anything else on TV apart from cricket?" And you know, in them days, right? You know what I mean? My dad's like, you know, he ain't turning over onto no soaps or nothing like that. It's football or nothing, or cricket or whatever. You know what I mean? So it's a real sporting house. And I think where I've sort of got my real passion and that for football comes from there, because, you know, me and my brothers, and my dad included, we just constantly be arguing about football and cricket and sports. And even to this day, my dad's in his 90s now, and trust me, man, he will go toe to toe with anybody arguing about sports and that, and he does all he watches.
It's Arsenal's team as well.
You know what? Arsenal's not really his team. I can never work him out because all he's ever do, right? I think he's got a real soft spot for Arsenal, but all he ever does is wind us up about Arsenal.
I say how rubbish you are.
Yeah, so like the other day against Palace, he'd be like, "You see your boy, them couldn't even beat Crystal Palace. Let me tell you about them boy there." That's what he'd be like, you know what I mean? And he's a proper wind up, man. You know, we'd be like, "You're all right, Dad, man. Yeah, I don't want to, you know, it's bad enough. Yeah, it's bad enough we got it." And he go, "What happened to them, boy?" You know what I mean? But I think he does like Arsenal. He's got a passion. He's just got a passion for sport. He's just a sport man. But all my brothers are all Arsenal fans. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's like runs throughout the whole family. My cousins, everybody's Arsenal.
What was it that made you migrate to Arsenal?
It was just basically my whole family's Arsenal. My cousins, remember my cousins, the first ones that took me to Arsenal, right? And that's it. You know, you go to a game, you're like, wow, big stadium, players like Ian Wright, no, it's Arsenal. That's it, it's done. Which is one of the weird things now, right? It's like Ian Wright, for instance, was my absolute hero growing up, and to like have the relationship that I have with him now, where it's like a friend. You know what I mean? It's unbelievable. You know, but yeah, those guys like Ian Wright, Rocastle, back in the day, you know what I mean? Paul Davis, who I've also been able to meet a few times, a really nice guy. They really cemented my passion for Arsenal, you know? So, you know, you're a black guy, you're growing up. You're looking like it's for some of them black players. Yes. You know, you speak to a lot of fans from that era. So if you speak to a Liverpool fan from that era and he's black, more than likely the reason why he supported Liverpool is because of John Barnes. Yeah. A lot of Arsenal fans, it was like Paul Davis, Rocastle, Ian Wright, those guys, you know. I mean, listen, we were in London anyways, it's a London club, but those guys really made you support Arsenal. And plus as well, the fact that Arsenal was a club that always had a lot of black fans.
Yeah.
You know, I remember it used to be like, you'd have clubs like Arsenal would have a lot of black fans, QPR, Tottenham would have a lot of black fans, Palace. But then you'd have other clubs like Chelsea, West Ham, Millwall. They had a lot of right-wing sort of racist fans following them. Not all of them, you know, but they had a lot of that element there. So a lot of black people weren't really, you know, didn't really want to go to those, support those teams because they didn't really feel welcome there. But you felt welcome at Arsenal, Tottenham as well, you know, they had a lot of black fans and that. So, yeah.
I totally agree. The reason I got into supporting Arsenal was Ian Wright. Because Ian Wright was the first player I saw that reminded me of my uncle.
Yeah.
I see Ian Wright doing the bogle
dance,
celebrating, and I was like,
yeah,
that's what my family do. I can resonate with that.
I said to Wrighty one time, man, I go, from I see you do that bogle dance, man, I said, that's my guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was just like, you feel like he's one of us.
Yeah, definitely.
You know? Yeah. So, yeah, Wrighty.
So at what point did you notice football was overtaking the music slightly?
So I was in the music for quite a while, and then I sort of was, you know, listen, music's a game that, apart from the real top guys who can reinvent themselves and stay in it for a long time, I sort of saw myself kind of easing out of it. And I don't know, I was just like going to games more and more than ever. I still didn't think I was going to set nothing like this up. I just sort of had an idea. I just had an idea. I think it was kind of driven by, I've got a friend, Coogan, who does IFL TV. And me and him, friends from way back, we used to go to Highbury together a lot of times and stuff like that. And he set up this boxing thing. Me and him, we laugh about this as well, because even back in the day, we had a nightclub together that we owned that didn't go too good. But we always laugh about it and say, boy, imagine if we still had that, we wouldn't be where we are now. But I saw him doing his boxing thing, and I remember one day I went with him. He goes to me, he goes, oh, Robbie, he goes, can you come with me? There's this boxing show up in Liverpool. Can you hold the camera? I go, oh, well, which camera? I go, I don't know nothing about cameras. He goes, all you got to do is hold it. I said, all right, I'll come. Right? I remember his Tony Bellew was fighting on it as well. And went to it and saw him in action and filming and everything like that. And I remember back at the hotel, I was like, you could do this for football, you know? I remember I was going to, Coogan, why don't you do this for football? This can work for... And he goes to me, yeah, but you wouldn't be able to interview players. You know what the players are like, they'll never do no interviews and that. And I was thinking, yeah, but what about fans? I reckon if you interview, because I look at the passion of fans and I go, you never hear nothing from them. All you ever hear is pundits and I go, no one ever. And I said to him, even if you listen to things like Talk Sport and that, for me, the best parts of Talk Sport is when fans are calling in and 606 and that, when the fans call in, that's what I really enjoy, the passion of them. So I remember I went away to America on holiday, I came back. I went to this men's conference, I'll never forget it, man. I went to this men's conference that I didn't even want to go to over in America, and there's this pastor was doing it called T.D. Jakes, right? And I was just there. And I remember he said something in it. They'd done this big, it was really powerful, and they'd done this thing on ideas. And he's like, huh? He's, so you feel like someone's talking to you. And he goes, there's a lot of people in here that have ideas for things. And he goes, but the problem is, he goes, they never execute them. All they do is chat, and never execute them. He goes, well, my challenge to you is when you go home today, when you go back home, if you've got an idea, don't let that idea just go to waste. Put it into action. So I thought to myself, yeah, man, I like what that man has said. So when I come back to England now, I said, you know what? Sure, I'm going to do this. So I remember I put together a little plan of how it could be done. And I went to Coogan because I'm thinking to myself, boy, I got the idea, but I don't know how to film. I don't know how to edit. I don't know nothing about camera work really, but I know Coogan does. So I went to Coogan and I said, yeah, this is sort of the plan. But, he saw it and everything. He goes, yeah, it looks good, Robbie, but he goes, I'll be honest with you, I just don't have the time to do it because I'm doing my IFL TV. So I'm like, I was deflated, man. I was like, oh, that's like my only hope. Gone. Because I know I can do the football. Plus as well, he's an Arsenal fan as well. It would have been perfect. Yeah. So I said, all right. So, but then the words kept in my head where the guy said, listen, do your plan. Don't think about it. Just do what I do. So I said, you know what? I'm going to do this. And then I went to another friend of mine, who's like when I had the nightclub, who built like a website for it. And I said, yeah, you know what? I'm doing this thing here. I need a website. And I told him about the idea. And he goes, oh, you know what? He goes, Robbie, I know how to film it, man. He goes, I know how to film and edit. He goes, I kind of do a little part-time work at a studio. And I said, yeah. He said, yeah. So I said, all right. So I brought him in. And then just like literally, we borrowed the camera because we had no money either. That's the other thing. I ain't got no bank or nothing like that. You know what I mean? I have no money, I was working at that time as a surveyor. As a building surveyor for a housing association. And I was just like, boy, how are we gonna, I got no equipment or nothing, but he said, I can borrow a camera from the studio. So he borrowed this camera, it weren't a digital camera, it's like one of them cameras that use tape. That's what it was. Trust me. Borrowed a camera, borrowed a mic, and we went to the Emirates and we just started filming fans. And I remember at first, man, boy, you know what football's like already. Especially you're new. You go up to people and say, yeah, mate, do you want to say something about the Arsenal game? Yeah, I'll say something. Fuck off, who you lot? It's like, all right, you know what I mean? Right, something shit.
I know.
Yeah. Because they saw, they didn't see no BBC or they didn't see no Sky or whatever. They see like a black guy rolling, thinking, who are you? So I'm like, boy. But I said to myself, you know what? There's 60,000 people here, man. Law of averages, I must get at least 10 man that's going to talk to me. So I'll just keep going. And then we got people who spoke. I remember we played Spurs and we beat them 5-2. And then obviously you got some happy fans after who spoke to us and that. And then I think what happened is when those fans saw back, because you go into them, you ask them to interview, but when the fans saw back the videos and how it was presented and stuff like that, they were like, oh,
I'll do that again.
And they shared it. Because, obviously they're feeling good. You know what I mean? They've spoken about Arsenal. We got that big win, shared it amongst their friends. So right from the very first day, we've got we were getting I remember we were high-fiving each other because that got 100 views. That got 500 views. We were like, wow.
So just before you go too far ahead, so when you first did those first few videos, you felt good about yourself before? We got a few videos in the can. Was it a thing of we've got to do this now every week, or was it just
so
we just do when we can?
The plan was to do every home game.
Okay.
That was the plan because, as I said, money was limited. But when I saw how well the first week went, I'm like, you know what? I want to go and do an away game, right? Because, as a fan, I used to go to a lot of away games anyway, and I know the passion of the fans away. But I was always thinking it's going to be difficult away from home. Let me just concentrate at home first. But I said, let me try and see what away's like. And I remember we went away, I think it was Aston Villa we played. So we went to Birmingham. I remember it pissed down with rain that day. So we saw the weather forecast leading up to it, and I was like, let's go on the coach. And we went on the coach, and when we was coming back on the coach now, we didn't do interviews outside the ground because it was raining so much. I said to the guy who's driving the coach, I go, it's all right if we could interview a couple of fans. We'd just start this new thing, Arsenal Fan TV and that. And he goes, yeah. And I go, yeah, who on this coach do you think would be good to interview? And he goes, you know what, go to the back there. He goes, there's two guys, they're always bloody arguing with each other. Always got so much to say there. That was Claude and Ty was talking about. Okay. And I went to the back and them two I was like, jeez, right? And then I remember I met Bully as well, was on that coach. And we interviewed them. And again, from the away game, got a great response. And when I looked in the comments of the away game, people were saying things like, oh, I never knew it was like that away game. I never knew the coach thing was like that. I never knew. And then I looked at it and I was like, actually, hardly any fan of Arsenal, when you look at the percentage of fans who follow Arsenal, it's only a tiny percentage of them that will get to go to an away game because, you go to away games and 3,000 allocation. A lot of those games are not live on TV. And I thought, we need to do all the away games. So I remember saying to Tower, the partner, I said, we need to do all the away games. You know? He goes, yeah, but boy, that's going to be expensive. I go, I know it's going to be expensive. I know it's going to be hard, but we need to do it. Because I think we need to do every game. And it's literally from there, we just started doing so right from the start, we've done every single game. And it was very, very hard at first because, as I said, it was like, I paid for it all out of my own pocket. Makes me laugh now when people are chatting about how much money you're making and this and that. I think, boy,
to be fair, I saw your Bentley outside.
That's not my Bentley. That's the next thing. Rolls Royce Bentley. That's not my Bentley. I wish it was. But it's funny that people talk about how much money I make now, but in them days, I'm like, yeah, well, no one ever lent me a fiver in them days. You know what I mean? Because it was really tough. Yeah. Because I had a mortgage to pay and stuff like that. I was
going to say, tell us about, without telling us figures, but with a family to support and you got a job, how expensive and financially difficult was it to finance this?
Tough.
Buying tickets, travel, food, equipment?
Hard, man, hard. Because you got to get tickets and there was no cap in those days on the away team. So, you could go to an away game. I've got to get, when I say tickets, 2 tickets. Because I've got to bring the camera guy in it. So that's over £100 already. You got to travel, you got your car getting battered because you're up and down the motorway, petrol, food, parking, which is another, anyone who drives away to away games will tell you, parking, it can be like £15, £20 a time. I remember going to games where I had to park far away because I didn't really have no money left to park, or I had to bring sandwiches because I didn't have no money for no food. But, so it was hard. And then I think what was even the hardest part of it is that I remember I'm still working. Yeah. So you'd have a game midweek, 7, 8 o'clock, 7:45, 8 o'clock kickoff away from home, away at Man United or away at Burnley or something like that. You get back at like 4 in the morning. You still got to remember, we're still using that tape thing. Yeah. So your camera guys who are filming this will tell you now, it's not like when you got a digital thing where, it processes really quick. With a tape, if you film an hour's worth of footage, you got to wait an hour just to run it off so that you can to begin editing it. So you can imagine it was long nights, man. So, and many a time, man, we just fall asleep doing it. Really? And then many a time I have like an hour, half an hour sleep before I have to get up and go to work.
And be honest, did at any point, Robbie, you think to yourself, this is really expensive, this is tough, even not stop it, but maybe we just do home games? Did you ever think?
No, never.
This is a bit much.
Never. Because once it started and I saw the reaction of people, they was enjoying what we was doing. It's Arsenal. I love what I'm doing. I love the football team. I love the passion of the fans. I love going to games anyway. I was like, I'm enjoying this. It's hard work, but I'm so enjoying this. And I so believe that this can be successful that I'm like, I ain't stopping. There's nothing that made me feel like, there was bad results. Yeah. Where you're driving home and you're like, oh my God, what did I bother to? But, that's just a natural football fan's reaction. But at no time did I feel like stopping. No time.
And at what point, so, in fact, I'll get to the business bit in a minute. At what point did you realise we've got a handful of characters here that we can build the show around? Because any successful show on TV or online, it starts and ends with the people involved. When did you realise we've got 4 or 5 interesting people that the public really want to see and watch?
Yeah, you know what? Kind of after we'd done about 8 to 10 games.
Oh, that's that quickly?
You start to see a few guys emerge of like people, you see in the comments, people be like, oh, if you didn't have them on one week, they'd be like, oh, where's Bully? Okay. We like to hear from Bully, you know what I mean? Because he's such an iconic fan. Yeah. Or where's Claude, you know what I mean? Want to hear from Claude. Yeah. Or where's Chris? There was a guy, Chris Hudson. Chris, or where's Ginger Chris and these guys, you know what I mean? And you start to see people asking for these guys and you're like, oh, and that's how they emerged. A lot of people say to me things like, I heard one guy said to me one day, did you audition? I just started laughing. I go, audition? These are all proper football fans that we've just met along the way. I didn't know any of them. None of these guys that I met along the way were guys that I went to football with.
None of these guys you knew before?
Not one.
AFTV, okay.
Every single one of them I've just met through doing this. Mm-hmm. The only one, I never knew him, but the only one I knew of was Ty because, being He's very distinctive. You know, he's always had his little headphones, and that's from back in the day.
Okay.
And I used to see it at games and think, oh, that brother, who's that guy? So I knew Ty,
yeah.
I knew of Ty, but I didn't know him.
Okay.
I didn't know any of these guys until we started doing this. They've all just kind of emerged as, you know, really popular fans.
And at what point did you realise that this is going from a really successful and fun channel to something that actually could be a business now? And this is serious now.
I'd say about 3.5 years in, you know, I started looking at it and saying, this has taken over now. You know, I need to pack my job in and concentrate on this full time, because I feel that this can go somewhere. So, you know, that's when I knew that this can be a successful business. You know what I mean? Up until then, you don't know. You know what I mean? I always my motto's always been, you know, just make good content, and the money will hopefully follow. You know, so we were making good content. And people see you do some content, sometimes you get a lot of views, and they're equating the views to money, but it doesn't really work that way, you know? But then there kind of comes a period where you start to realise that, hey, this thing's now, it's getting big now, and I need to concentrate on it 100%, and I think I can make a living out of it. So I'd say about 3.5 years in.
Okay. Arsenal, what was your first game, and what is the most memorable game? It could be a game we lost.
First game, I think.
The first game you went to
Yeah,
was most memorable.
I think the first game I went to was Arsenal played Luton. And I think my most memorable game, I always say, you know what, I don't like to put it, there's been so many memorable games, I don't like to put it down to one game. I always say my most memorable period was that season, the Invincible season. Because I just felt at that time, every week I went to Arsenal, I was just like bouncing down to Highbury. I was just like, we got the best team in the world. I can understand how these Man City fans feel at the moment.
Is it a similar thing?
Yeah, I think it's
go
just
to games knowing
yeah.
win or lose, it's going to be a
I went to every game, home and away, expecting to win. Every game. It didn't matter who we were playing, I'd expect to win. I'd go with the only games that you'd be thinking is when we played Man United. You think, because remember at them times they were deadly. Yeah. But every game I went to that game expecting to win. We were that good. Whereas now, now it's not like that at all. You know what I mean? But yeah, and it was just such a fantastic period to be an Arsenal fan. You go to games, you go to an away game, away fans are coming up to you and saying, you know what? I love Arsenal. I support whatever team it is, but I have to admit, the way you lot play, Arsenal team just had a swagger about them. Thierry Henry, Bergkamp, Kanu, Robert Pires, the players, the swagger, the manager at that time, Arsene Wenger, revolutionary. It was just a brilliant time. Honestly, I wish I could go back.
I remember.
You know, so I don't like to put it down to one game because within that period there were so many brilliant games, so many great times. But it was just wonderful, man. Every week you go in, there's just such a buzz, you know? Fantastic.
Your partner in crime, Troops. I remember I've heard him in an interview say this once, and he said it to me once a couple of years ago, that he felt, well, he was surprised, and he still is surprised at the response and how he's received by people because of the fact that he doesn't talk like a BBC guy. He speaks the way that he speaks how he's from. And he didn't think that would be received very, very well. Do you feel that what you're doing with Arsenal Fan TV is opening up for black boys and mixed race boys and ethnic boys who are from London and from regions to basically be themselves via football?
Well, my thing is, that wasn't even an aim at the beginning to do that. My aim was just to interview real football fans. Yeah? Now, anybody who supports Arsenal knows that Arsenal got a lot of black fans, right? And they've got a lot of Asian fans. They've got a lot. It's a really diverse fan base, right? So, if I'm interviewing real fans, I'm gonna be interviewing a lot of those type of people. And when I'm interviewing them, I just want them to be themselves. I don't want you to pretend to be something else. And I don't care about your accent. I don't care about where you're from. I don't care about, I just want you to talk about Arsenal. And it wasn't really till one day, actually I was doing an interview for the Guardian newspaper, and it was their journalist who pointed out to me and said, you know what I like about Arsenal Fan TV? Because you guys, it's very diverse. He goes, before you guys came along, he goes, I think a lot of people just thought that your football fan was that guy they see on Football Factory. He goes, whereas you've shown that football fans are all colours, races, male, female. And I was like, oh, actually, I hadn't really thought about that before. I hadn't really consciously thought about that. But, I just interview fans, and I'm proud that, people like Troops will say that, and that there's a lot of black fans that can really relate. I see a lot of fans that come up to me all the time and they tell me that. I've spoken in a lot of schools and stuff like that, and the response I've got from a lot of black kids and that has been brilliant. And they say that all the time to me, and they go, yeah, thanks, man, because no one needs to give us a chance to speak when it comes to football. Or nobody never, now they're just accepted as a fan, like how it should be anyway.
Of course.
That's all we're doing. All we're doing is how it should be.
Do you think?
You know what I mean?
Do you think the mainstream media one day will replicate what you're doing in terms of
I hope so.
representing diversity with presenters, with fans, with its guests, or do you feel that TV is so traditional and stuck in its way that it's always going to have a particular type of palatable face and voice for that platform?
Yeah, well, I hope so. I hope they can change. I hope that they follow our example, which is just basically you interview everybody. You just be real. Whereas, then you're not consciously even having to make an effort. Sometimes a lot of them are like, we need to get more black and ethnic minorities on. If you're doing your job properly,
you'll get them anyway.
You get them. If you go to a game as a London club, you're going to get black fans. It's London, right? If you go to Newcastle, you won't get as many black fans because not as many black people live there, but you're still keeping it real. That's all you've got to do. You haven't got to go out of your way to shoehorn in black people or whatever. Just be real. Just tell it as it is. Let everybody feel comfortable to come and say their piece, not try and, and that's all we've done really. We've just, and we don't go out of our way to interview any race. We just want to interview football fans who've seen their team play and want to speak about it. If on that particular day there's a lot of black people who want to speak, it might be them. On another day it might not. You know what I mean? That's just how it is.
At the moment, Robbie, in football, the ugly face of racism has kind of come to the fore. I'm not one of these people that subscribe to the idea that, it went away and we fixed it and it's come back. For me, it was always there. It just wasn't as blatant. As someone that's on the front line of football games, Arsenal games, and mixing with all the fans, what do you see in the terraces? And secondly, as a football fan, forget AFTV, just as a football fan, what do you think needs to be done to stop racists feeling emboldened enough to be able to shout what they're shouting?
Well, I think the first thing I'll say is that in comparison to when I first used to go to football, back in the late 80s, 90s, it was terrible. So first thing I'll say, it's improved a lot because you don't get people really out and out. Very rarely you get that. Whereas before, people were just out and out racist. They didn't care because they knew they'd get away with it. I think now a lot of fans know that if you do that, you could be looking at a ban. So that's a good step. However, it's still there. There's still some people that are there. They're biting their tongue. They don't really say nothing, but then if they're in a group of like-minded mates or whatever, that's when it might come out. You still hear, like even at Arsenal, I don't really hear much racist chants. Sorry, shall I say, I don't really hear much racist chants towards black people, but I do hear homophobic stuff. I do hear anti-Semitic stuff, right? So it's still there. It ain't gone yet. And I think Arsenal one of the better clubs. There's other clubs that we all know that are way, way worse. So it hasn't gone away. It's still there. It's still in society, isn't it? So, but I do think that the authorities could do more. I just don't think.
What can they do?
Listen,
what can
like,
they do to just? Is it time now for harsh punishment?
Harsh punishment, man. Just kill it dead.
And how do they do that?
They used to have a saying when I used to do reggae: "Kill it dead before it spread." Right now, the other day, that thing in Montenegro, where they're making monkey noises and that. I think FIFA or UEFA, I don't know which jurisdiction it comes under, right? You could deal with that over. You just say to Montenegro, "Yeah, listen, we heard what went down. We've noted it, right? Big fine. Next time, it's behind closed doors, right? You're not going to get no fans in and that. Second time it happens, right, behind closed doors, but you say to them, your third strike, you're out. That means you are out of European competition."
You wouldn't just do third strike first, because everyone knows racism's wrong. Shut it down.
Yeah, I think you know what? I think you have to give people a chance to clear up the mess, to get their house in order.
Tell them now.
Right?
New line.
Yeah, but I do feel that sometimes you've got to give people a chance to get their house in order, because if you was just to throw a team out straight away for the first time, I think that would be a bit unfair, because you've got to give people a chance to get their house in order. So you say to a country like that, or any other country like that, you say 1, 2, 3 strike. First strike is that. Second strike sanction is you're not going to be able to play behind closed doors. Third strike, you're out, you're gone. And it will work. It worked with English clubs. When English clubs used to go to Europe, and every time we went to Europe or around the world, we were the ones who invented hooliganism. Don't forget that. We invented it. I hear people chat about ultras and this and that. We were doing that long before anybody else. They copied it from us. You listen to a lot of those hooligans around Russia and Italy and all that. They copied it from us. They even wear the same casual clothes, Stone Island. They copied it from us, right? So, but when the English clubs got thrown out of Europe after Heysel, and I remember, because Arsenal, we won the league in '89. We couldn't even go into Europe. I think it was 3 years. When the clubs came back, there was a change in how the fans started to behave, because the clubs now knew that they had to be on their best behaviour. Because if they're not on their best behaviour, they're going to be out of Europe again. And the amount of money they lost, the amount of kudos they lost, they can't compete in the best competitions. So that the pressure then comes from the highest level of that club. If they see you messing up their opportunity to make money in that, they are going to come down you like a pile of bricks. And I think it's the same thing. It would be like if it's a national team, and say it was England, and the authorities knew that there's a possibility of England being thrown out and can't play in the World Cup. Do you think they're going to allow fans to go around and racially abuse people and that? They're not. They're going to come down on them hard. It's like football clubs, like a Millwall, one of them clubs where every time it happens, we hear about they're doing a lot in the community and that, which they probably are. But if it was a thing where they said, you know what, Millwall, we're going to throw you out. You're going to be out of the league. You have to go back and down into non-league and come back up. If you own Millwall, you think you're going to allow a couple hundred idiots to ruin that and cause? They will then get their house in order. They will do whatever it takes to sort it out. Same with countries, same with clubs. So if the sanctions are proper and are hard hitting, you will see that the guys who run these clubs, that they want to make money. They want to see their club in these top competitions and that, they will sort it out.
So would you have a 3-step plan for clubs here, or would it be a
for here?
In the Premier League?
I'd have a free step here and in Europe.
Okay.
Out you go. If you're in the Premier League and you got fans that are racially abusing people every week and monkey chants and this and that, you keep doing it, we don't want you in this competition. You're out, man. Drop out of the league. Because you know what, we've given you a chance to sort this out, and it's still you lot doing it. So you know what, out you go. A bit like a school, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're excluded.
Yeah, true.
Right? You'd soon see these clubs get themselves in order. But I don't think that the sanctions are hard enough, right? You see it all the time in Europe, where teams get a little ban, or behind closed doors, or 30 grand fine. I was like, that doesn't mean nothing. You see some clubs in Europe where, you know, you hear stories of the ultras are running the club, so these ultras are so powerful that we couldn't say nothing to them. That's rubbish, man. If the people right at the top who run the club realise that they're going to lose everything, they will go out there and they will sort it out. They will get rid of these ultras. They'll be like, yo, listen, it's either we keep you lot, and we won't be able to play no more, and we lose the whole thing, or you know what, you guys got to go now. We've had enough of you lot. And the other fans as well at the club would put pressure on to get rid of them as well. So I think hard-hitting sanctions. This is 2019 now, man. How many more? Are we going to keep talking about this in the next 10 years? We'll still be talking about the same thing. Come on, man. This is ridiculous. You don't get it in other sports. You don't see this. You don't see it in cricket. You don't see it in rugby. You don't see it in, you know, every now and again you might get a little, but you don't, do you? You don't see it in tennis and why in football? Why football all the time? But a lot of it's been over the years, these little racist groups and that have tried to attach themselves to certain clubs and stuff like that. And now's the time to just say, right, if you don't sort it out, you're gone.
You posted a video about a few months back, Rob, as a very impassioned plea to people who are involved in knife crime and youth violence to stop it and to end it and to put knives down. Why did you feel so impassioned to make that video? And secondly, what do you think, what can you do as someone that's got a profile now and many young people will look up to? Because if you're into football in this country, you'll know Robbie Lyle. What can you do in your position to persuade them to that life ain't the life to lead?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I did that video because I was just like sick of turning on my TV and just seeing another black kid or just another kid dead, senseless, man. You know what I mean? It's just not worth it. I mean, I've got a nephew right now. He's in prison. You know, life, just because of bad choices that he made. And I can tell you, he's been in there already for ages, and he ain't coming out. And he's a young guy. And I mean, I just look on it and say, every time these crimes happen, it ruins the lives of multiple people. It ruins the lives of the person who obviously has been killed, the person who's perpetrated it is going to prison. His family's gonna not see him. The other families, it's just a total waste. And then a lot of times, what's it over? What is it over? Foolishness. The ends. The only time I want to hear a man chatting about ends is if you own that. The person who owns that ends probably don't even live around there. He don't care. Oh my man, come on my ends. So man, come on man. We need to now wise up. So as a person who's got a bit of influence, I just needed to say something about it. And then I sort of said in the video, you know what? Because I'm not a community expert or nothing, but I'd like to help. My personal opinion is that it's going to be a hard road. I feel that to solve this, first of all, we've got to start listening to these kids. You know, some of these kids have got a lot of problems. There's some hard questions that need to be asked in our community. You know, even us, in our black community, us need to ask ourselves some hard questions. Even as fathers, for instance. I'm a father. Are we doing our job right? That if a kid's out on the road at certain times of night, right? So first of all, that's the difficult question we need to ask. The other questions we need to ask is, do we listen to our kids enough? The problems that are out there. Because you know what, sometimes some kids are carrying a knife for what they think is a good reason, because somebody's looking to do them something. I understand that. But we need to show them, and we need to sit down and speak to them and let them understand that you're ruining your opportunities. There's a friend of mine the other day, he wanted to go to America. He can't go. When he filled out the thing to go to America, some stupidness that he did years ago, they said, no, we don't want you. So And then I'm saying, you know, to some of these kids, get out there and see things, man. There's some kids that, you know, here in London that they ain't even left their area. They don't even know what the West End looks like. There's this whole world that they don't even know about. And sometimes when you limit yourself and you're in a box, that's when problems come. There's boredom, there's, you know, people in your ear chatting foolishness. You need to widen your horizon. So, I don't know. I don't know what it is yet that I need to do. I think I had this idea the other day where I was like, you know what? I just want to get like a load of like-minded people like myself, and people that have done okay, you know, that have been quite successful. And maybe we just gather them up. It's just a simple idea in my head at the moment. And I am going to do this one day. I'm going to do this very soon, I think. Just get some people together. Somebody like you who's like worked on Channel 4, worked on TalkSport, does your own thing, you know what I mean? Somebody like my brother, you know my brother who's like, you know, head of sport. He was at Channel 4, you know, at BBC. Other influential black people, someone who's a doctor, somebody who's like a, you know, people that are doing, who've come from them same sort of places and have been able to, you know, they're doing well. And just bring them to the youths and just sit down and say, right guys, all I want you to do today is just talk to these guys. Just go up to them and talk to them, find out how they manage to navigate this and, you know, go beyond just the grind of the ends, because it doesn't have to be that. Honestly, I say to every youth, it doesn't have to be that. I think I've kind of proved that you can just have an idea and something, and it doesn't matter who you are, you can execute it. You can execute it. I was watching an Arsenal game the other day. I sat next to John Bercow, the leader of the House of Commons, and Frank Warren.
Okay.
And I was sitting there, I was thinking, Jesus, when I started this, someone told me this, I'd be like, nah. You can, man, you can do so much better than just the day-to-day rubbish sometimes. And it's easy for us to say, but I think it's a matter of, Jordan, I think we need to start talking to these youths, man, and communicating with them, because we can't just go in there and say, yeah, bro, stop that, you know, because we need to talk to them. We need to answer some of the difficult questions as well, because as I said, it was this girl I was chatting to the other day that said to me, she goes, oh, Robbie, she goes, us as well, you know. She goes, all right for us going and telling these kids this and that. A lot of fathers, are they there for these boys? When certain things are going down, have they spent enough time with them? Have they sat with them and spoken to them and that? She goes, not in every case, but in a lot of cases, do they? Like to come afterwards and give it that, yeah, you should have done this, why you got that?
What would you do?
But what are they done? Weren't they the same ones who were smoking weed in front of their kids? Were they the same ones who were chatting some effing and blind in front of the kids, or threatening to do this to our man and that? And I said to her, it's so true, man. We gotta be responsible for this as well. Can't just put it on these youths. You remember when we were kids, man?
Yeah. I do.
You're not thinking sometimes you're not even thinking of them consequences. No. But who used to remind me a lot of times about the consequences was my mum and dad. And that's why when I got into certain situations sometimes, as I was about to do something stupid, which I did do some stupid things, but because I was in this music business, man, and trust me, that weren't an easy thing, man.
Trust me,
you know what I mean? But sometimes as I was about to do something stupid, it's like their voices would be in my head. I'd remember certain things they said, and I'd like, nah, man, I'm gonna let them down badly if I do this. And I walk away.
And this is why I wanted to, I've only got a couple more and I'll let you go. This is why I wanted to speak to you for this kind of platform, because one, I want young black people, or just young people in particular, just to see you and hear that message. I think it's important, because if we're not careful, we're going to lose a generation of young people.
Yeah.
For stripping this. And I think it's important that someone like yourself that's got influence and someone that is known and doing well, they hear that. But onto the doing well, also you're an example of someone that, as you said earlier on, you started from nothing. You were a surveyor. You got a camera and a mic and did a little thing, and now you've got this business and you're killing it. Which leads me on to one of my last couple of questions now. How are you dealing with being famous? How are you dealing with being a guy that is pretty much known? If you watch football in this country, you will know Robbie Lyle. And if you don't know his name, you'll recognise him at the bare minimum. You might, when you leave your office here, or you go around town, you're on the tube, you must get people stopping you and wanting pictures and wanting to talk to you about Arsenal.
No, it's all the time. You know what? I'm quite good with it. I don't know. I've always been good with chatting to people and that, and always try to make sure I don't just give it the boy off a man and give it the diva thing. And I remember you know what? I always give this. I always tell this story. Right? It's like the first time I sort of realised that maybe I'm getting a bit famous. Maybe. No, I'm not getting too big for my boots. But this was like my transition. Yeah, I was walking down the road one day, and there's a black guy walking towards me. And I'm walking, and he's walking, and he's looking at me. I'm thinking, under my breath, I'm thinking, oh, that boy, I look fine. What happened to that boy? Right? And he walks, he's coming up, he's still looking. I'm thinking, here we go. I think there's going to be some drama here, the way this brother's looking at me. And then we sort of walk past each other, and then he turned around and goes, yo! So I'm thinking, here we go. So I turn around and goes, you Robbie from Arsenal Fan TV. I said, yeah. He goes, yo, come man, I need a picture, bro. He goes, yeah, I love your working on it. I was like, raw. I was like, that's the first time. I was like, hey. And then like, now it's crazy. Yeah. I go to a supermarket. It's like, I can't go nowhere.
Can't buy tomatoes.
I go to,
bread.
Yeah, it's mad, man. You go to like a restaurant. There people want your picture. But you know what? I'm good with it, man. I never really get fed up with it. I'm very grateful for it. You know, nobody wants to walk with me at football because when I go to a football game, oh gosh, they're like, Robbie, I ain't walking with you just to get like 10 yards, mate. Can't you tell people no? I said, no, you can't, man. No. You can't tell people no. Yeah, I mean,
How do your family deal with it? How do your family deal with the amount of time you put in the minutes?
Yeah. They're all right, you know. I try to spend when I'm not doing this. I try and spend quality time. My kids think they said to me, I get I'm on the cool register.
Yeah, I was going to say, man. They're like, you know, my dad is, you know.
Yeah, I'm on the cool register with my kids, you know what I mean? So, yeah, you know, because all the kids, like, if I drop them off at school or if I go anywhere with them, all the kids know who I am. Yeah. When I take my son football, you know.
The kids' dads want a picture.
Yeah. All the kids, you know, so yeah. So, no, I'm all right with it at the moment, man. You know what I mean? I hope that I never, ever become that person that's like too big to take a picture or, you know. And listen, there are times sometimes you're in a hurry to get somewhere and you get stopped and...
I'm just tired.
Yeah. But, you know, I really hope I'd never, ever... Because I used to despise people like that as well. That's why I think I always will give time because I don't like when you've got these people, no, man, I don't like that. So... Yeah, it's good. I'm grateful, man. I'm grateful. I wasn't expecting this when I started doing this. I want to build a good platform. I wasn't expecting people to want pictures and autographs. I mean, when I go abroad as well, it's absolutely ridiculous.
Well, I was gonna kind of almost wrap up by just kind of asking because I was out in Russia working and I saw you for the World Cup.
Yeah,
I
that was crazy.
There was one England game after the game where you did an interview, I think, for ITV.
Yeah.
And then we were all like, yeah, let's get some food afterwards. And I was just there waiting for like 45 minutes while you were taking... I was surprised. And
you didn't want to walk me either.
Listen, I was like, I'll be in the restaurant, Rob. This is not angry restaurant. I couldn't believe that there were Malaysian fans, Australian fans,
it's crazy.
German fans that not only knew who you were, but they seemed like in awe to meet you. It was like
it's
a
mad.
pop star. Like, I always wanted to meet you, Robbie, or Troops.
But that's what I'm saying with some of these...
Amazing.
That's what I'm saying to some of these kids, yeah? And believe you me, and I know it's easy when people tell you this, right? I think I've witnessed it myself because I remember when people used to tell me this back in the day and I read books and stuff like that and they say, yeah, you can do anything. And you think, yeah, all right, I can do it. You can literally, because when I go abroad, that's when it really hits me. I was in Dubai the other day. Madness. Guy flew in from Pakistan to be at the Q&A we were at, you know what I mean? And I just wanted some fans there from Syria. we come from Syria, we just wanted to meet you and stuff like that. And yeah, anywhere I go, when I've been to Australia, and then that's the other thing, like all these countries that I've visited, I think I worked out, like last year I went to about 14 different countries, just in 1 year. And then that's when I realised that if you really you got an idea for something, execute it, man. Don't let no one put you off. Do your thing, man, because that's the other thing. Sometimes you'll have friends around you and that. They mean well, but they put you off doing things. Always ask yourself, what do they know? Right? Because sometimes there'll be people putting you off doing stuff and you think to yourself, yeah, Reggie. I remember I was going to Russia actually. And people go, yo, Robbie, will you go to Russia? Jesus Christ, right, you're dead. Boy, over there, man, in Russia, you ain't see, man, they take you out into the field and they take off your top and they thump you up and then, boy, Russia's a madness, you know. But I said, yeah, you been there? No, I ain't been there, but I heard. I'm thinking to myself, how am I going to listen to a man, he ain't even been there? Yeah. You heard. Yeah. No, let me go and find out what the place is like for myself. You went out there, it was all... Listen, they put their best foot forward, we know that. But it was fine. Yeah. I went to Napoli the other day, man go, Rob, Napoli, you're mad, you're got dead. Why don't I stick, they might got knife you up and I'm here. Listen, you gotta take precautions and that, but never listen, don't let people put you off things. Yeah. Don't let people put you off things. Anybody out there, any you right now watching this, you can do amazing things. If you put your mind to it, if you have a dream, if you have an idea, if you're prepared to do whatever it takes, and when I say whatever it takes, I don't mean madness, I mean whatever it takes, like in work-wise, work hard, put it in, man. You can, I'm telling you. There's so many people that start from nothing, and when you see what they're doing now, there's so many sports people, artists, there's so many people like in the media and stuff like that. When you trace their backgrounds, they're from the same hood, man. You can, you know, and I hope, that's one of my dreams, man, that there's something we can do. I think we can do as people the kids know now, to help them with that. And I'd love to be able to do that, go out there and then like, or even do, you know, doing stuff like this, where a youth comes back and checks me in 5 years' time and says, yeah, you know what, I saw your thing. And I said, yeah, I'm going to set up this. For me, that's how you start to change people. It's not always about money and that. Sometimes it's talking, listening, you know, and sowing a seed. I like that guy, as I said, going right back to the start of the interview, when that guy said, go back, don't sleep on your idea, go back and execute. At that time I was thinking, yeah, I want it, man, but got no money, how am I going to do this? But
you made it work. Let's just finish on your partner in crime, Troops, because you guys have got about 10 off-spin shows under AFTV. Yeah. And Troops is good people, man. He's a good guy. And he's a big Arsenal fan. Is the relationship...
It's crazy.
I was being polite. Big up Troops still. But is the relationship more of a fatherly one, or is it more of an older brother one? Because you guys have travelled pretty much in the last few years.
Older brother. Ain't no father, that boy. You know what I mean? If I was his father, man, I'll tell you, I'll slap up that youth there, boy. I'll give him some licks. You know what I mean?
How does on camera you come across, and I know because I know you both, you do get on off camera anyway. You're good peoples. But what's that relationship like, and how has that managed to grow? And
you know what? We just hit it off, because I remember the first time we interviewed him, and he came up and we was packing away all that stuff, and he's like, "Yeah, bro, I want to be in." I said, "Yeah, bro, I got bars. We're finished. We're done. Yeah, we're done, man. We've just filmed about 15 videos, man. We need to go and edit it." No, man, I want to. I was thinking, who's this man? Didn't you hear what I just said? We're done. Yeah. And he kept going on, and I said to Tyler, "Yeah, you know, bloody hell, man. It's just to get rid of him. We'll put him on." And then he came on, and he was very passionate, and I liked him. I was like, "Yeah, I like this guy, man. He talks from the heart, you know what I mean?" And then just basically from doing videos, we just hit it off, man. I get on with him, man. I like him. I like the way he's just himself. Yeah. Me, I like people that are real. You know, I like people that are real. And how we are when we do the funny thing about us, right, is that when we do like videos like the Bias Premier League show, there's no rehearsing, nothing. I say, I don't even tell him sometimes what we're going to discuss. I'll just say, right, we're going to speak about some games, predict it at the end, let's go. And it's literally just roll the cameras. No rehearsing, no planning, nothing. We just do it. And that's how I like to do videos. I like it to be natural. I don't like, you speak to any of my team, I don't like contrived stuff. I really don't like it. I like natural stuff because that's what football's all about. It's like natural vibes, banter. That's what I love. And he's hilarious, man. He's hilarious. There's some guys that, you know, that are on the platform, man. They're just like hilarious. Claude's the next one. He's just that guy. He's just hilarious. He just makes me laugh. He's so miserable. But I just like this guy, man. You know what I mean? It's just incredible. But yeah, no, Troops is cool, man. I like him. And, you know, funny enough, he's like, again, he's just been himself. And he as well, around the world, is just like, you know, so known. And people, you know, they really, all of them in their own little way have got their, you know, their appeal. DT, you know, he's like a Marmite. You've got some people that will hate him, and then you've got some people who absolutely love him. You know, but I think these guys are just, you know, if you be, I always say to them, just be yourself. Never try to
conform,
pretend like you're something else. Just be yourself, man.
Well, listen, Blakademik TV, this platform, Black and Winning, is about celebrating and highlighting black people that I think, in whatever sphere or field they're working, and doing really good things and excelling. And you're a man that I know I've got so much respect for people that work and not only work but build something from nothing. I don't mind if you have a little something when you grow it, but when you have nothing and you grow it, I have respect for the kind of man there. You're someone that's built something from nothing. So you've got an empire now and a production.
I wouldn't call it an empire. Hold on. Wait.
I'm saying you got an empire.
You the man, that's why I get all this Bentley talk and all them thing in. It's about empire.
But
we're trying to, listen, I'm trying to build an empire. Let's say that. I ain't got no empire yet. We're doing well. But how I look on it, funny enough, I had a meeting earlier with my guys, said, yo, I don't want to stand. Next season, there's a lot of new things we need to do. I don't want to stand still. I think the main thing for me is not standing still and not just, and also with me, I'm like, people big you up like you just big me up here, but kind of after that, I always kind of think like start from scratch, man. You gotta
keep it fresh, keep it on toes.
Yeah, because it's easy to fall as well.
No, I hear that.
You know, so.
Well, I know the amount of time and doing this show and all the shows, I know the time required, the editing, the filming, the planning, the producing, and you've got more shows than me. So I've got bare respect for you, man. So listen, Robbie, keep up the good work.
Thank you very much, man.
And big up yourself, yeah?
Appreciate that.
Big up, thank you.